ever noticed? The most painful moment in love is never the day you break up, but much later, when ordinary details from the past suddenly ambush you without warning. You walk past the bus stop where they once waited for you, the bakery on the corner plays your old song, the shop assistant takes an order exactly the same. 2 pineapple buns with butter, 1 iced milk tea. You freeze there, caught off guard. It's just another evening after work, nothing special. But inside, it feels like you've fallen straight back into some dusk years ago. In that instant, you realize you can't go back, and worse, you realize you still haven't let go. The reason love hurts so much is not because they left, but because you once believed in forever. You chose lamps together, bought toothbrush cups, argued endlessly in the supermarket about which brand of detergent to buy. You had a shared playlist, jokes only the 2 of you could understand. You thought you'd be saying good morning and good night to each other for a very, very long time, until one day WhatsApp showed only a single tick. You stared at your phone, knowing it was meaningless, but still opening and closing the chat over and over. You told yourself, I won't send another message, but your fingers betrayed you. Between typing and deleted, you kept hovering, as if caught between longing and pride. Nights alone are the hardest. The room grows dim. The bedsheets still seem to carry their scent. You want to sleep, but your mind won't stop. You rewind every scene. The first glance, the first hug, the first trip, the first fight, the first time you said, forget it, lying on the pillow. You ask yourself, if I hadn't said that one thing that night, would today be different? You search for answers, but lonely nights don't give answers. They only amplify regrets. You start to wonder, am I really unworthy of love? Am I not good enough? Was I always unnecessary? The more you think, the more you blame yourself. The more you blame, the less you want to get up. Slowly you sink into a deep ocean. And you know, love is never just about 2 people. It's about the childhoods, fears, personalities, experiences, and wounds each brings with them. Some cling too tightly because of insecurity. Some protect themselves too fiercely because they fear loss. Some say, you need to be independent, but what they mean inside is, please don't leave. Some say, I'm fine, when inside they are not fine at all. 2 people together are never a perfect puzzle. Just 2 incomplete souls trying for a while to fit each other into their lives. Letting go doesn't always mean there's no love left. Sometimes it's just that 2 people's pains rubbed against each other until they bled and the hurt became unbearable. You try countless ways not to think. Clearing out your house as if tidying objects could tidy emotions, deleting photos, songs, traces, until only you are left, ordering the strongest drink at a pub, hoping to burn away the memories, talking to one friend after another, until even you are tired of your own story, seeking a new fling, or gambling with memories under a new name, swearing to yourself never to bring it up again, only to lose the battle each quiet midnight. You think you're weak, but you're only human. Love is like an addiction. Breaking it is not a clean cut. It comes in waves. Every time you think you're past it, another corner hides another ambush. You don't need to pretend you're fine. What you need is to give yourself time. The most painful thing is not their disappearance, but reclaiming all the futures you once entrusted to them. The countries you planned to visit, the neighborhood you planned to move to, the children's names, the cat you might adopt. Those little promises felt so real back then, but today, retrieving them feels fatal. You see a pair of shoes in a shop and think of their feet. You hear a song and remember their lame joke. You watch a couple reconcile after a quarrel and remember how you once did the same. There is no such thing as a perfectly clean break, only the slow learning of how to coexist with every trigger you may resent. Why could they move on so quickly? You feel like the failure, maybe, but what you don't see is that in their own darkness, they too once fell apart. Everyone copes differently, some with silence, some with overwork, some with new relationships, some by running until they collapse. Calm on the surface does not mean real happiness. What you see is only appearances. The one you need to release is not them, it's yourself. If you ask, when will it stop hurting? I won't lie to you. No one can give you a date. Healing is not a countdown, it's a road. You don't notice you're walking it until one day you realize you've come a long way. The first time you eat at that old restaurant without discomfort, the first time you pass their station, glance once and move on. The first time you hear that song and your mind shows you different pictures. Your world has begun to make space for more than just them. On this road, remember a few things. First, allow yourself to grieve. Don't tell yourself, get better quickly, and don't forbid yourself from crying. Cry, but then drink water, eat, sleep, guard your body. It's your last fortress. Second, distinguish loss from worth. Losing them does not mean you have no value. A diamond dropped in the mud is still a diamond. It only needs cleaning. Third, don't shame yourself. The foolish things you did, the breakdowns, the desperate pleas for them to return, these aren't crimes. They're proof that you once loved deeply. Fourth, turn pain into strength. Learn the skill you always wanted. Train your body again. Travel with friends somewhere new. Read that book you never had patience for, not to cover the pain with busyness, but to rebuild with action. Gradually, you'll realize love isn't only about couples. You have family, friends, companions. You have people who still laugh at your nonsense, and you have yourself, the one person you neglected most in the relationship. You'll start talking to yourself again, greeting that fool in the mirror. Hey, you're actually pretty okay. You thought no one wanted you, but in truth, you were always the one most worthy of yourself. One day, you'll tell the story of you and them. You'll speak of the funny parts, the sweet parts, the arguments, the stupid parts, and you'll find yourself laughing, not because you've forgotten, but because you've learned to remember differently. You'll thank your past self. Thank you for loving with everything you had. You weren't perfect, but you were genuine. You'll thank the one who once loved you, then left. Thank you for teaching me how to be with someone else and how to be with myself. You'll say to the future, I'm ready, but I'm not in a hurry. I'll live well, not to prove anything to anyone. Maybe you'll meet someone new, maybe you won't. Neither is victory or defeat. If you do, you'll love differently. Less control, more listening, less projection, more respect. Less you complete me, more we are each whole. And we walk side by side. If you don't, you'll still live well. Work busy, but not blind. Home quiet, but not empty. a Saturday night, play music, take a warm bath alone, you'll realize that love, while important, is not everything. That life still has so many people and things waiting for you. Finally, a few words for the you still hurting now. First, you are not extra. You simply gave too much sincerity to the wrong person. Second, you are not unworthy. Someone not seeing your value does not erase your value. Third, you are not hopeless. The pain will come and go, but there will be a morning when you open the window, feel the breeze, and know you've survived. Fourth, remember, your heart once broken will grow flowers in its cracks. Those flowers are not for anyone else. They bloom for you. Night will fall again, but you won't fear it. You'll drink water, wipe your face, switch off the light, and tell yourself, that's enough for today. You'll learn to restart in the daylight, slowly tidying your room, restoring your life, regaining rhythm. You'll learn to appreciate a leaning street lamp, a long staircase, a delayed bus. One evening by the river, your heart will suddenly fall quiet, not emptiness, but safety. You'll understand true healing is not forgetting them, it's remembering them without pain, that the deepest love transforms, in the end, into gentleness toward yourself and the world. And you deserve all gentleness. You deserve to be waited for, to be understood, to be embraced. But first, you must leave a seat for yourself. Only when you sit down in your own life will others have space to join. When you admit, I still believe in love, but I won't trade my dignity for it. You've already won, because real love is not a rescue, but walking side by side in ordinary days. The real you is not the helpless one in heartbreak, but the one who survives heartbreak and still treats the world tenderly. The story doesn't end here. No love truly ends. It changes shape, it settles, it becomes details in your conversations, light in your eyes, boundaries in your choices. It teaches you not to tangle, teaches you to thank, and to say goodbye. The next time you whisper into the night, who resonates with me, you'll realize you yourself have always been your truest resonance. May you learn to love yourself well before anyone else loves you well. May you, in every loss, find yourself again, and may the hardest path, when you look back, already have become the most beautiful scenery of your life.